CEO and founder of Kupid. I want to welcome you guys tonight to come hang out with me and get onboarded correctly to Kupid. So, quick update. I know the title might have been a little confusing on this one. So, this is our onboarding for Kupid, but sadly, we do not have a launch party today. Essentially, what's happened is that we are not able to launch yet. We had a really big problem with Apple, and Apple did not accept us to the App Store. So sadly, we're going to have to wait a little while longer. We're actually working on some speed of tools to get us through that. But today's onboarding is going to be really short. It's holiday weekend. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update of like what's going on and what we're working on. And if you've never heard about Kupid before, tune into what we're doing, understand the business, and how you can become a matchmaker, become successful. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my presentation right now. So first things first, welcome y'all. If you've never used YouTube Live or you've never used Facebook, or we're live on across Facebook and on LinkedIn, what you can do is actually comment in your real questions and things as we go along. That's why we do these on live. Otherwise, we just like deploy a big recorded presentation. But the idea is we like to do it on live because it allows our audience to tune in, learn more about what we're doing, and just let us give us some comments and questions. So you can see a few people have already tuned in. Feel free to ask any of your questions. I'll feature them on the video. I'll do things like this where I'll pull them into the actual video. But if I don't have any questions, I'm just going to move through the presentation. Cool. Next piece of business is please join our Discord community. We have over 450 matchmakers there now already. As you might know, we are exceeding about 1,300 matchmakers as of this week. So every week we're really growing and expanding. And basically our aim is to have an enormous network of matchmakers out there, especially on Kupid or on Discord, so we can learn about what kinds of things you all need to know. We were on a presentation today, and one of the biggest pieces was we were saying, hey, we're building tools and services for you. So Kupid as a platform for matchmakers is to build tools and services for you. So please let us know how we can help and join us in the Discord community. If you don't already tune in to Carabelle and my show, we're live 3 times a week at 1 p.m. EST. Basically, we're hanging out, talking about how to win, how to be successful, how to be a good matchmaker. Carabelle's a great option for that. Come tune in and learn. So today, here's what we're going to discuss and what's going to go through the onboarding process. Number 1, I'm going to officially welcome you to Kupid. Number 2, I'm going to tell you the story of Kupid and kind of how it came to be. Number 3, we're going to talk about how matchmaking works, especially with Kupid. We're going to talk about the difference of how matchmaking used to be and how matchmaking is now. Then I'm going to walk you through the app briefly, although the app is under some major construction because we didn't get into the Apple App Store. So we might pause a little bit on that, but I'll just kind of talk you through it. And then finally, we're going to talk about how you can win $1,500 and get paid and earn extra money to invite singles to Kupid. And then finally, we're going to talk a little bit about active matchmaker status. And our last bit is a Q&A where I hang out with y'all. We spend some Friday night together and we discuss what you're excited about, what you're nervous about, and what you want to learn about the Kupid platform. All right, let's get to it. So officially, hello everyone. I'm Ken. I'm the CEO and founder of Kupid. What is Kupid? Kupid is a matchmaking platform. On Kupid, you as matchmakers run your business. You can invite singles and clients to the company, and you run your entire operation using it as a business suite or a suite for you to run your business. A single on Kupid is part of a shared database. These are people who are completely free to join. Whenever you invite them, you get rewarded on the Kupid platform, but even more than your rewards, you get a nice inventory of people to possibly match with your clients. On Kupid, the base rate is $99 a month, and people are required to subscribe to a matchmaker to start receiving those services, to be matched together. And finally, matchmakers, you are the star of the show. Kupid is the first matchmaking platform to ever be in an app existence. Previously, all matchmaking companies were good old-fashioned databases, sometimes real photos or real files. So we're bringing it into the 21st century as matchmaking is a several billion-dollar business globally. What is your job as a matchmaker? It's to do the 3 S's, and that is search, screen, and select potential matches for your clients. Now, there's going to be varying degrees of how you want to run your business. Obviously, this is your business. You're simply running it on Kupid. But searching, screening, and selecting looks a little bit like this. Searching is going through the database, making notes, making tasks, and seeing who is going to be a good fit for your client. Maybe your client wants, above 5'5", but below 6'2", kind of weeding that audience down and saving your client time. Screening is then asking questions. So not everyone fills out every possible question on their profile. A great example, I'll talk about me a little bit more later, but I'm allergic to cats. It is very unlikely for me to live with a man who has cats. So you might want to screen and say, hey, do you have any pets? How do you feel about pets? Do you have a cat? Do you live with a cat right now? Do you want to have a cat in the future? And then finally is to select them. So to actually pick that person and deliver them to your client as a potential match. That's your job. Cupid's goals, two major core things. Number one, save time for our clients. You understand what a matchmaker's job is. You are trying to save time. You're trying to figure out, okay, my clients could go swipe their life away on a Tinder or a Bumble or a Hinge. Why are they hiring me for $100 a month? The reason why is your clients prize their time. The same reason they don't change their own oil is the same reason they don't cut their own hair. It's the same reason they don't get their teeth cleaned. You want a professional to help you handle parts of your life. That is what a matchmaker does on Cupid. You are working to save your clients time and energy and leverage your professional skills. The second piece is meaningful matches. We understand that right now, 50% of single adults in the US are struggling with using dating apps, and the other 50 don't even use them at all. The idea is we want to use our intuition, our skills, our skill set as matchmakers on Cupid to deliver better quality matches to our clients. So that is your job. Save your clients time and deliver them better quality matches. Now, without any further ado, let me tell you the story of Cupid. Hi, I'm Ken. I am single, as you can see, no ring on my hand, and I am 32. I'm gay and I'm single AF. Why am I single? I think everyone has a reason why they're single. I think we have options and opportunities, and people come your way that would be a great fit. Maybe they'd really benefit from your life. Maybe you don't feel that cohesion and you don't feel that equal playing ground. You don't feel like they're going to really complete you or fulfill you. My why I'm single is I want kids. In the gay world, it's really hard to have children. Obviously, it's expensive. We have to pay someone. We have to outsource that responsibility. But it's also really challenging because children kind of mean the end of the fun days. And gay culture is really based on partying and drinking and really doing a lot of that stuff. So there's a lot to it. But when it came to me, I got tired of swiping my life away. I was on Tinder and Bumble and Hinge for more than probably a decade. I mean, most of my 20s were spent like swiping and swiping, going on dates. And after so many dates and so much wasted money and so much time, I said to myself, like, I want to try something different because I'm 32 now. I really need to get to do something new. So I found matchmaking, and this was after a long pursuit of learning about different relationship opportunities. And after I really thought about it, I'm like, I hire everyone to do everything else for my life. When I don't know how to do it or I'm not great at something, I hire someone else. But the problem was the price. Matchmaking right now can be pitched to a person anywhere from $10,000 up to $1 million a year. It is a ludicrous process. So because I liked the idea of matchmaking and I wanted to hire a matchmaker, but I couldn't find any reasonable pricing, I built Cupid. Cupid was supposed to launch today. It did not launch today. But Cupid matchmaking is a pretty simple process. The idea is your matchmaker is kind of your agent in the field. They go out there, they find potential matches, they always have you in mind, and they're right to actually connect you and put you together with someone. It's just like old school matchmaking, but what makes it a lot better. Old school matchmaking is this: entirely blind dates. So when I went to interview with these firms, over and over again, people would tell me, oh yeah, we don't actually deliver, you can't see the person you're gonna go out with. I would say, that's a little crazy, right? So it's entirely blind dates. The price is unrealistically high. And because the price is so high, when you tell me it's gonna be $30,000 for 6 or 10 blind dates, my expectations are through the roof. And so, what is the difference on Cupid? Cupid has 3 types of users for you to work with as a matchmaker. Of course, you are the matchmaker. So when we talk about matchmakers, we'll get to that in just a second, but we have singles and then we have clients. The low price point might shock you if you've heard anything about the matchmaking companies out there who charge thousands and thousands of dollars a month. And the reason is this: we believe there's a part-time, gig-based opportunity for matchmakers to start their business. Right now, our split will always be the same. It'll always be 80% matchmakers, 20% Cupid. But the idea is we're starting with $100 a month because Almost anyone can afford this. If you want to hire someone to go do work for you, you can afford it. And as matchmakers, you're going to make $80 a month per client per month for as long as you have these clients. So you get to 5 or 10 or 20 clients, you really have an attractive client base, and you also have a lot of singles you can go out and seek out and possibly put on dates with your clients. It gives you a great reason to be social and really get out there and start matchmaking. You might ask yourself, okay, Kev, if it's $100 a month, why wouldn't it be a percentage, not a dollar? Well, the simple answer is this. We know we're going to increase prices in the future, and so we're going to give matchmakers the ability to charge $300 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month. It's going to be a very wide range of what it's going to look like. And so we say percentage because it'll always be an 80-20 split between matchmakers and Kupid. What do matchmakers do for $99 a month? As we talked about at the top of the call, search, screen, select. Matchmakers get out there, they're searching for people in the Kupid database, in the shared database amongst tens of thousands of matchmakers, but also in the real world. They're going out, they go to an event, they go to a networking thing, they say, oh, hi, Shirley, it's really interesting to meet you. You're a realtor. Wow, cool. I would love to talk to you more. Oh, I see that you're single. Are you dating right now? Yeah, you've had experience with the dating apps. It hasn't gone so well. Well, I'm a matchmaker. Would I have the opportunity to introduce you to some of my clients? There's no risk. It's all online. It's easy, but they're verified clients. They're interesting people, and I just love to introduce you and possibly see if I can form a match. That's their job. But in the same vein, with Shirley, that possible single they're looking at, they need to screen that person. They need to say to them, okay, like, do you want children? Yes or no? Do you do this? Yes or no? Do you smoke cigarettes? All the screening questions, all the things that you want to know about someone, that's your matchmaker's job before they ever deliver them or select them for the clients. And this is so important because really when you think about it, this is all time matchmakers. You are trying to save time for your clients. That's the end. So one of the coolest pieces about search, let's go dig into each one of these. Searching is a globally shared database of singles. So what that means is every single time you invite a few new singles to the platform, I have access to them as a matchmaker, and so do you. But when I go out there and I have a great weekend, I go to a wedding, I invite 20 singles, you have access to those singles too. So suddenly we start to build an enormous singles database and enable us to really show and create some meaningful connections that can be shared across thousands and thousands of matchmakers. You can learn about potential matches. So as your screening process, your job is to understand your client's deal breakers, your client's goals, their aspirations, and help your client mesh with that person. Find the red flags, check with your client. Hey, is this acceptable? Try to flex those boundaries, but that's your next job. And finally, you're selecting the client. And what is different here is in the conventional matchmaking space, your client does not get to select. Meaning, and this is kind of crazy, so you were to pay a matchmaking for $50,000 a year, which is very common right now. Your matchmaker selects for you. You can describe the person, but you can never show your client a photo, which I find kind of wild, right? The idea that you're going to pay an enormous amount of money, thousands of dollars to go on dates, but you never get to see a photo of someone. So in this situation, you always are sending the profile to your client when you select them, and your client decides that they want to go on a date before the whole process is even started. Of course, they get to review their profile and see, is this person, does it make sense for me? That's your job as a matchmaker. Now, the first look experience, I'll explain a little bit later, but the simple gist of it is, instead of following the good old-fashioned path of searching, you find someone, you select them, and then you deliver them to your client, the first look experience goes through a process where your client sees a profile first, is sent to a single, and then they book a meeting that works for both their calendars. It's very different than every other dating app because, of course, you're not swiping, you're not going into a chat, you're booking an actual time where you, through the Kupid app, have a 30-minute voice or video call. Your client's going to rate the single first. They see if they match each other and they rate each other, they like it, then they get to suggest a date. Once your client confirms their schedule, they have a voice or video date. After that date, they both deliver you feedback. And if they both like each other, if they're into each other, they get to open up a chat. So we only require the first date, video or voice, to be on Kupid. That's the general concept. We start there. The reason why is matchmakers do a great job sifting and finding people, but we're not positive it's going to be great long term. So we try to enable them to do their very first date where they get through the process quickly. They're not chatting their life away. They're really trying to get to a date, commit time, schedule a time together, and go for it. And then they take it from there. So next thing I'm going to tell you guys about is when we do launch, not yet, but when we do launch, we're going to have a leaderboard. And every month we're going to give away a big cash prize. So our first cash prize is $1,500 for our first place inviter. Second place is $1,000 and third place is $500. And here's what I mean. On Kupid, you're going to be rewarded for inviting singles to Kupid because running your business is going to be important for you to constantly meet new people and bring new people to the Kupid platform. So we're going to reward you with a big cash prize if you invite the most singles. And so that's about it. We have the active matchmaker status where once you have 30 singles invited per month, you become an active matchmaker and you get priority in our matchmaking database, in our matchmaking directory. So the general concept around Kupid is this. The more singles you invite, the more clients you're going to get, the more matches you make, the more success you will have. And you do all of this with your own unique matchmaker link. So you're not having to tell people, hey, download Kupid, do this, do that. No, we have a link system in there. We track it all for you. So you simply send it off and then we'll handle the rest. So it looks like we finished really early today. We got about 17 minutes in. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for sending your questions. We'll be back next week. Tune in to myself and Kara Bell. Kara and I are live every week to talk about different matchmaking strategies, learning about how to solve problems as a matchmaker and what you should expect. Have a fabulous Friday. Everyone be safe out there for Halloween, and I'll see you next week.